The Pearl River, for centuries the gateway into China. Traders have plied these waters since China first opened to the world, bringing with them a plentiful bounty. Guangdong is now the country's richest province. In the capital Guangzhou, some new faces. A wave of Africans have recently arrived, a community 20,000 strong, who are here to capitalize on the increasing links between China and Africa. And those links have served Atta well. A Ghanaian based in Guangzhou for the past 5 years, his transportation company has thrived, shipping goods from China to Ghanaian communities across the world. But while the global slowdown has hurt, the consignments from his suppliers are still arriving fast. And Atta thinks China offers African traders things other places cannot.
Africans as it is don't have any other option in terms of prices as well as the quality and even the money situation in the world market today. Always getting the advantage, moving along with China rather than any other country.
But while small businesses have thrived, many major corporations have discovered that business in China is a bumpy road. 100 years ago, many of the foreign companies that manufactured here in China based themselves here as well. But in the modern era, that hasn't happened. And that's because many of those companies have chosen to stay here in Hong Kong, where at least their business is protected by the rule of law. Despite being handed back to China more than a decade ago, Hong Kong retained its unique legal system and has worked hard to maintain a bureaucracy largely untainted by the corruption that blights the mainland. Recent problems for companies like mining giants Rio Tinto have exposed the lack of transparency in China. And some of those that have watched the economic explosion over the past 2 decades think that not all the streets across the border are paved with gold.
You don't have a system of rule of law, a jurisdiction in which you can sign contracts and be sure that they'll be enforced. You don't have a regime that is consistent. You know, overnight, the terms of trade can alter. When I say overnight, I mean literally overnight. That can happen and has happened.
And in these hard times, many manufacturers are faced with tough decisions. This Taiwanese lighting company has been in China for 2 decades, but orders have recently dropped by nearly a half. Competition in Thailand, Vietnam and elsewhere is offering manufacturers an alternative. But the investors here think that if China can diversify, it'll keep its edge.
They have to open the market and to face all the, all over the world. To face the competition.
The factors that have powered China's amazing economic growth, however, are showing resilience in the face of the downturn. And by diversifying their market base, are fighting hard to ensure they remain at the manufacturing center of the world. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera, Southern China.